Hey, everybody. Ready for some deep thinking today?
I hope so.
We're going to be cracking open the book of Job,
Nice.
specifically chapters 4 through 6,
Yeah.
exploring those timeless themes,
Yeah.
suffering, justice, how we grapple with the big questions about the divine. We're talking ancient wisdom wrapped up in powerful poetry. Get ready for some pretty intense debate.
The book of Job is so fascinating because it just dives right into these really tough questions.
Right.
Head first into that age-old question.
Yeah.
Why do bad things happen to good people?
Been haunting humanity forever.
Right.
And the setup here in Job is stark.
Yeah.
You got Job, this righteous dude,
Right.
and he loses
It
everything.
loses it all.
Wealth, family, health, the whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards.
His friends come to comfort him,
They want to help.
but their explanations for his suffering spark some fiery arguments.
It's important to remember the context here.
Right.
In the ancient world, suffering was so often seen as like a direct punishment for sin. Job's friends are working within that framework, trying to make sense of his situation through their own understanding of God's justice.
So let's meet Eliphaz,
Okay.
one of Job's friends.
Right.
He steps up in chapters 4 and 5 with a pretty classic argument.
Mm-hmm.
Starts by acknowledging Job's past good deeds,
Right.
highlighting his wisdom and how he helped those in need.
Yeah.
But then things take a turn.
It always happens with these guys.
Right.
Eliphaz basically says, look, Job,
Yeah.
no one who is truly innocent suffers like this. You must have done something to anger God. He even uses this image of lions losing their prey, their cubs scattered.
Oh, wow.
Like he's saying the wicked, just like those lions, are destined for destruction.
Powerful imagery.
It really drives home his point, right?
Yeah.
This deeply ingrained belief that God's justice is swift and absolute, no room for ambiguity.
And then Eliphaz drops this bombshell.
Oh, yeah.
He describes this mysterious, dreamlike vision he had.
Okay.
A spirit appears and questions whether any human can be truly righteous in God's eyes.
It's chilling.
It's this chilling reminder of human fallibility.
I think this vision solidifies Eliphaz's conviction that Job must be at fault.
Oh, for sure.
Like he sees it as divine confirmation of
Totally.
his worldview.
So chapter 5 rolls around,
Okay.
and Eliphaz shifts gears a little bit.
Okay.
He starts offering Job some advice,
All right.
essentially tells him to repent, seek forgiveness,
Uh-huh.
accept his suffering as a form of discipline.
This underlying belief that God uses suffering to refine, purify those he loves. A tough love approach, but ultimately meant to lead to restoration. Does that resonate at all?
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Is it comforting or does it raise more questions?
Yeah.
And then he tries to sweeten the deal
Okay.
by painting these beautiful pictures of God's power and blessings,
Yeah.
how he provides rain, nourishes the earth, protects the vulnerable.
Reminding Job that even amidst pain, God is in control, still ultimately good.
Yep.
Wants Job to trust in God's plan,
Oh.
even when it's hard to grasp.
And he ends with these seemingly comforting words.
Yeah.
God will save those who trust him, even from famine, war, natural disasters.
Wow.
It's this promise of ultimate security for the faithful.
But we got to remember, this is just one perspective
Right.
on suffering. How does Job react to all of this?
Oh, buckle up.
All right.
Job's response in chapter 6 is raw.
Okay.
He starts by describing his pain
Uh-huh.
as heavier than the sand of the sea.
Wow.
You could just feel his anguish.
This tells us it's not just physical, it's deep, emotional, spiritual. He's utterly overwhelmed by despair.
And then he uses this incredibly powerful metaphor.
Okay.
God's arrows piercing him, his spirit drinking their poison.
It's heavy.
It paints this vivid picture of feeling abandoned, tormented.
Stark contrast to Eliphaz's more detached philosophical approach.
Yeah,
Job is in agony, and he lets it all out.
he does.
Yeah.
And then he does something really interesting.
Oh.
He compares his torment to the simple contentment of animals. Wild donkeys graying over grass, oxen lowing over their feed.
That's interesting.
It's like pointing out the irony.
Yeah.
Animals don't question their existence.
Right.
They don't grapple with the meaning of suffering.
Right.
But Job, with his human capacity for thought and feeling, he's caught in this whirlwind of existential angst.
Yeah.
He even expresses a longing for death
Wow.
as an escape from his pain.
Yeah.
But what strikes me is that he still clings to his faith.
This is so key. Even though he's questioning why he's suffering, he hasn't lost his belief in God. His struggle is with the seeming injustice of his situation, not with God's existence itself.
And then he turns his attention to his friends.
Oh, boy.
You can practically hear the frustration in his voice.
Oh, yeah, he's frustrated.
He compared them to a deceptive wadi,
Uh-huh.
a dry riverbed that promises water but vanishes,
Ouch.
leaving travelers stranded.
That's gotta sting.
Right. Their words are empty, providing no real comfort.
He's calling them out. Don't be on the cliches and offer genuine support. Prove where he's gone wrong, offer real solutions.
Right.
Instead of just repeating traditional wisdom.
He wants true empathy.
Yeah.
It's like he's pleading for it.
Yeah, he is. It's like he's saying, look, your theories don't even come close to touching the reality of what I'm going through.
Right. It's a powerful moment.
It is.
So where do we go from here?
Wow.
I'm guessing Job's other friends aren't ready to back down after that.
You guessed it, the debate rages on, and with Bildad and Zophar,
Okay.
Job's other two friends,
Yeah.
we see similar themes emerging.
Okay.
They also try to convince him that his suffering must be the result of some hidden sin.
Some hidden sin he's committed.
Yeah, okay.
Do they bring anything new to the table?
Yeah, do they bring anything new? Or are they just echoing Eliphaz?
Well, they build on those ideas, but with some interesting twists.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Bildad, for example,
Okay.
really emphasizes the vastness and power of God.
Mm-hmm.
He suggests that we humans,
Yeah,
inherently flawed as we are,
right.
we're in no position to judge God's actions.
So it's like, don't even try to question God.
Right.
His ways are beyond our tiny human minds.
Exactly. He uses this powerful image of papyrus reeds and rushes withering away without water, meant to illustrate the fleeting nature of human life,
Yeah.
compared to the absolute authority of God.
He seems to be trying to put Job back in his place a little bit,
Yeah.
reminding him of his limitations.
Right, as just a mortal man.
It feels kind of harsh.
That's one way to see it, but you could also interpret it as Bildad trying to comfort Job
Oh, okay.
by emphasizing that his suffering in the grand scheme of things is temporary.
Mm-hmm.
It's a drop in the ocean of eternity.
Does that make it any easier to swallow, though?
What do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough
What about Zophar?
so far.
What's his take? He's probably the harshest of Job's friends.
Oh, really?
Goes straight for the jugular,
Okay.
accusing Job of arrogance and wickedness.
Oh,
He even claims that Job's punishment is actually less than what he deserves.
no pulling any punches there?
No, he's not.
So he's doubling down on the idea that suffering is always a direct consequence of sin.
He is, and he uses some seriously vivid language to drive home his point.
Okay.
Compares the downfall of the wicked to a fleeting dream,
Okay.
a rushing torrent that dries up in an instant.
So both Bildad and Zophar, in their own ways,
Yeah.
reinforce that traditional view of suffering as punishment.
Right.
But does Job just sit there and take it?
No way. He keeps pushing back, challenging their assumptions, asserting his own innocence.
Good for him.
Yeah. He calls out their words as empty wind.
Ooh.
Says their attempts at comfort are actually adding to his pain.
It must be incredibly frustrating for him.
It is, imagine having your suffering dismissed as just punishment.
Right.
When you know in your heart you haven't done anything to deserve it.
Yeah. And this is where that tension really comes to a head.
It does. The book of Job forces us to confront the limits of human understanding.
Right.
When it comes to suffering and divine justice.
We have these traditional explanations.
Right.
But what happens when they don't match up with reality?
Yeah. What happens when a good person suffers unjustly?
It's a question that still haunts us today.
Absolutely. We see it all the time in the world around us.
Right.
Those are the very questions that Job grapples with.
Yeah.
They resonate with readers thousands of years later because they are timeless.
They are timeless.
So we've seen Eliphaz lay the groundwork with his argument about sin and suffering, followed by Bildad and Zophar expanding on those ideas with their own perspectives.
Yeah.
Through it all, Job passionately defends his innocence,
He does.
challenges those easy answers his friends offer.
Yeah. And it feels like we're caught in this whirlwind of debate and emotion.
So whirlwind.
Where does it all lead?
Where does it all lead?
What's next in this ancient drama? Okay, so we're back
We are back.
for the final part of our deep dive
Final part.
into the book of Job.
Job.
What a roller coaster.
A roller coaster of emotion.
Intense debates, raw agony.
Searching for answers?
Where do we even begin to unpack all this?
Well, the stakes get even higher in these concluding chapters.
Okay.
Job, After enduring those well-intentioned but ultimately unhelpful arguments from his friends, he sets his sights on a bigger audience.
Ooh. Yeah.
He decides to address God directly.
So after all that back and forth.
Yeah, all that back and forth.
With Eliphaz, Bildad, Zophar.
Right.
He finally gets to voice his questions.
Yeah.
And complaints to the one he believes is ultimately responsible.
To the one responsible.
For his suffering.
And his speech is powerful.
Okay.
This raw mix of anguished defiance and yet this unwavering faith.
Okay.
He pours out everything he's lost, the pain he's endured, the seeming injustice of it all.
Does he directly accuse God?
I mean,
or is it more of a lament?
It's both.
Okay.
He doesn't hold back from challenging God.
Right.
Questions why he, a righteous man,
Yeah.
has been subjected to such suffering.
Yeah.
But woven through it all
Right.
is this deep reverence, this persistent longing for understanding.
It's like he's wrestling with God.
Yeah, he is.
Not rejecting him outright.
No.
He's demanding answers,
Right.
but clinging to the belief that there must be a reason for his pain.
Yeah, and that's where the book takes this incredible turn.
Okay.
God responds,
Well.
not with a simple explanation, though.
Oh, really?
Not a justification for his actions,
Okay.
but a series of questions and pronouncements
Okay.
that challenge Job's entire understanding of the world, his place in it.
So after all this buildup, God finally speaks.
Yes.
What's the tone? Is there anger?
It's less about anger,
Okay.
more of this overwhelming display of power and majesty.
Oh, wow.
Describes his role in creation, the vastness of the universe, the intricate workings of nature.
So he's shifting Job's perspective,
He is.
trying to get him to see the bigger picture,
That bigger picture. Yeah.
those grand schemes beyond human comprehension.
Exactly. God asks Job these pointed rhetorical questions
Okay.
about his own knowledge and abilities.
So emphasizing how limited
Right.
human understanding is
Yeah.
compared to the infinite wisdom and power.
Of the creator.
Do these questions make Job feel smaller?
That's what's so fascinating.
Yeah.
Job responds with humility and awe.
Oh, wow.
Confronted with the grandeur of God's creation, he recognizes his own limitations.
Okay.
The arrogance of presuming to judge God's actions.
So it's not about God providing a specific reason
No.
for Job's suffering.
No. It's revealing this perspective that transcends
Right.
our human ideas of justice and fairness.
It's about accepting
Yes.
what we cannot understand.
Precisely, the book of Job doesn't offer a neat answer
Right.
to the problem of suffering, but it suggests that our attempts to grasp God's ways
Yeah.
are inherently limited.
There's that mystery
The mystery, yeah.
that we may never fully unravel.
We may never fully unravel it.
It's like we're being challenged
Yes, we are.
to live with that mystery,
To acknowledge those things that remain beyond our grasp.
even when it's hard.
Yeah, and in the end, Job doesn't get a detailed explanation,
Okay.
but he experiences this profound encounter with God
Okay.
that leaves him humbled, transformed.
So how does it all end? Does Job get his old life back?
The ending is both surprising and hopeful.
Okay.
Job repents for questioning God,
Okay.
and God blesses him.
Okay.
New family, wealth, long life.
So there's a restoration,
There is.
but not a simple return to how things were.
Right, Job has been through the crucible,
Right.
this experience that fundamentally changes him.
The book of Job doesn't sugarcoat the realities of suffering,
It doesn't.
but it ultimately affirms the enduring power of faith, the possibility of finding meaning, even blessings amidst pain.
It's a powerful message.
It's a reminder that even when we don't understand, when we feel lost and alone, there's something bigger at play.
That even in the face of unimaginable suffering, there's still hope.
And that wraps up our deep dive
It does.
into the book of Job,
Quite a journey.
from the depths of despair to the heights of spiritual insight.
A story that continues to challenge and inspire thousands of years after it was written.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep seeking wisdom wherever you can find it.
Welcome to Charlie and Mia's podcast. We're embarking on an exciting journey to read through the entire Bible in just 1 year. Every day, we dive into Scripture, exploring its meanings and how it applies to our lives today. We invite you to join us on this incredible adventure of learning and discovery. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode.